Welcome to GoodThings DC. It is Sunday and it is now June 24th.
Oh my gosh, don't say that.
We have been gone for a minute, but we told you guys we needed a little bit of a break, and we took our summer vacation. So apparently one of us took a longer summer vacation.
Britt.
Maybe it's because the summer weather came late, so she needed to really soak it up.
Yeah, what is going on with Virginia? I should be like sweating in here right now.
That's where she is.
Well, true.
Yeah, but we miss you, Britt. She will be back. Actually, in all actuality, she is at her sister's wedding. Her little sister, got married yesterday.
She looks beautiful.
Oh, congratulations to her.
Oh, yeah. So she was doing matron of honor, I guess, duties. She's had a lot.
Have you ever been a maid of honor?
No.
Well, I can get married again. You'd be a good one.
I think I've hidden from it.
I've actually asked. I mean, I think I've been at 2-3 times, and I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Don't you know me? I am the worst maid of honor.
I have been a bridesmaid, and I think just fortunately, I've just fallen into either a place of like where I just haven't had to be, or
my poor girlfriend Jamie. I mean, I flat out refused to wear the dress she picked for me. So
they made a movie about you. There is a movie about it.
It's not your wedding, Leia.
I know, but okay, yes, seriously. But I said the problem is, okay, would you put me in pale pink? Seriously, like it's the color of my skin.
I understand.
However,
I know.
Vision is a vision.
Before we get going, I know you, I'm sure some of our veteran viewers know who this wonderful guy is sitting next to us and filling in for Miss Britt. But in case you guys don't know, we have with us today, and we're so excited to welcome back. It's been a minute since we've actually been able to have you for real, actually, like back on, like here. You've been like here with like some other people, like on the backstage or whatever.
Right, yeah.
We was trying to be like, come on up here. But let's introduce you to the Harley Morgan and welcome him back to GoodThings DC. Thanks for having me.
Back. What's up, everybody? Hey. Good to be back. Good to be back.
And if you don't know, Harley Morgan is the CEO and founder of Row the Agency, LLC, right here in DC.
Where all the beautiful people are in DC.
Maybe all one day we can get him to let us.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He might think we mess it up.
Well, I mean, of course we're going to mess it up, but it'll at least bring viewership.
You should have us like you got to let us come into one of your shows. Just
Yeah,
I don't know,
we're gonna do all of that. We're gonna do all
random.
that.
I don't know what.
Yeah,
but
I told Harley I'm
I
going
think
to be
it'll be
a
fun.
poster child for bad model.
I mean,
Right here.
her and Brent work. I don't know what you're gonna do about me. I have no height.
We're gonna put all three of you in something.
Okay.
And we're gonna film it. And it's gonna be awesome.
That
It's
would
gonna be
be
so fun.
hilarious.
That's gonna be
We
good.
should do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I will say we do take a
We
damn
cooperate.
Good, we
We
take
take
a
a
damn
good
good
picture.
photo.
We
Yeah.
can-
No, y'all were very modelesque in that video.
See,
See,
we can pull
there
it
is
together.
hope for us, Kanosh.
Yeah, just don't be behind the scenes.
Oh,
the
God,
people
no.
who know us behind the scenes know better. Like
It took
Roy.
us, the last time we did a photo shoot, I swear it took us like 2 hours to even
Well, it
do
didn't help that
anything.
we did it in a hotel, and so for whatever reason, in our own mind, we were like, so
We have all the time in the world.
Did it turn
Just-
into like a staycation?
yeah,
That's what it looked like. But it shot well. It looked good.
yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, the pictures did turn out amazing.
Well, we had to have.
They did.
I think what saved the whole thing is we had a female photographer for that particular
she
shoot,
understood.
and she was like, yeah, I get it. The whole like hair, makeup, or whatever.
No, she did good. She captured like girls' night in.
She did.
That's what I got from it.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was supposed to be like slumber party, and again, shout out to the Embassy Row Hotel down in DuPont Circle in DC. Who
DuPont, what?
yeah, and so they were so hospitable to us. Literally, like in the middle of the night while we're like walking around canvassing the hotel.
Well, I was gonna say in the middle of the night and in the middle of the night when I had to show up for hair and makeup. And these two ladies didn't tell me that they had pushed makeup and hair back, so I got up at like 2 a.m.
we were trying to help her out because she hadn't had any sleep, and she still had to get ready for Mrs. DC because it was right beforehand. So we're like, let's help
anymore,
Leia out.
I feel like you don't need sleep. You just need a really good makeup artist.
No, that's it.
Can you please make me look less tired than I am?
And then I'll figure it out later. Yeah, or sleep
Yeah.
like Britt does. She sleeps like this.
Brett does sleep like
I
that.
can
Like if
see
she
that.
gets her makeup done,
Like in real life.
she goes like this and she won't
Move.
move the whole night, and then she'll just wear it the next day. I was like, how?
That would never work on on this side.
I do look
That
like a
is a
dead
skill.
Barbie when I sleep.
Now I know. Well, you know all about this because this is like a part of your brand and business. I mean, you work with models and makeup artists and all of that every day. I mean, is it usually like a big, I guess, whole setup, or is it just kind of like business as usual?
No, like
every day?
hair and makeup is its own production.
Yes.
Literally its own production. But I mean, we have a good. I think
Hence
we have
the
like a
makeup artist
good.
at DC.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk about that too. Yes.
Okay, we have a really good formula, I think. But I mean, people have their preferences.
Right.
And, if the hair and makeup artist is not as good as you would like for them to be, and,
That's the end
you
of the
got to
world.
go back through and redo people.
Or like
and,
what you have in mind, because I know like when you're producing shows, or like for instance, if you're doing the photo shoot, there's obviously a look, a whole setup in mind in place that you want, like a
absolutely.
storyboard for
Absolutely.
that. So
Do the
you need it to
storyboard
fall in
and-
line, right?
You pass the storyboard on to the beauty professionals, and they're like, "Oh, okay, this is perfect.
got
We can do
it."
this." And some people are spot on, and some people are completely left field.
You're like,
So, that's where the fun is. That's where the fun is.
Right, the fun.
right.
Okay, so I'm dying to know what's your craziest like diva model story? Do you have one? Like something that happened and that you just were like, how did we get here?
Yes.
And
I
why
do,
and why
actually.
are you here?
Yeah.
I do. Okay, so this is a
You
few
don't
years
have to
ago.
say any names. It's
Yeah.
okay.
This is a few years ago, and ironically, it wasn't one of my models though. This
course.
is a guest model. This is a guest model that we had, and we were doing a partnership with, at the time, Elite DC. So we had it was about 60 models in the show, and everything was literally going according to plan. I was very surprised. There's one model, she came in from out of town, and she walked in the hair and makeup, and she had her big shades on. It was really like a movie. She had the big shades and her Starbucks. And she sat away from everyone, and just kind of really, really arrogant, like, I just need someone to come
She
and
wasn't
greet me.
approachable,
And,
right? Just like, right.
and so the way that the rundown was going, in addition to her being late, it didn't work for her at all.
Oh.
So from each stage she went through, from hair to makeup to styling to rehearsal,
Everything was just.
she was the only vocal individual. And she decided she wanted to tell everybody in each stage how to do their job. And she was being, she's being really, really overly loud about it.
Overly extra.
Very, very extra.
Oh, what do we call that?
But
Unapologetically extra.
that's exactly what it
Yeah.
was. That's a good term. But we ended up, she ended up not participating
After all that?
after all of that.
Sounds like
She after all the models
Harley's
finished
nice.
rehearsal, she had another. We had to have another segment for her where we had to ask her to leave because she was
Oh my
destroying
goodness.
the vibe of the show.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy though? How one person's energy can literally suck the life out of you. We were talking about that before the show, actually.
Yeah.
Just one negative person who just can't.
Yeah.
I
Well,
That's
and you have
terrible.
to just walk away. And because I think
Or
too-
make them walk away.
Well, that's yeah. Well, in a nutshell, yes.
Yes.
And that's the thing. It's just like when you're trying to do something and you really do want to. Obviously, everybody wants the end result to be great, right? But it's hard to do that when you're like, okay, I've got to work with this one person who has to, or maybe more than that, has to mix in with everyone else, and it just turns into something, or it can, I think, that you don't really anticipate or want. But if you don't kind of like, I guess, remove it or squelch it, it does hinder the end project. And
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
no one says anything, or it doesn't have to be some huge calamity to it, but the demeanor and everything else can change,
Yeah.
and that. Especially, I think, with something that is like media related or photo
Absolutely.
or video.
The energy is
You
very
can
important.
see it. Yeah, you can see it. And even though, I think people who do that are probably really good at the whole facade thing, but you can still like,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can be like, okay, yeah, you see that face right there? It only takes like one person.
Just
I'm that
one.
person. My face is not good with, like, I can,
Yeah,
I
you
can
can see
talk.
it.
Oh, I
can
know
be
all
like,
about
"La,
that.
la, la," but my
I know all
face
about
will
that.
be like,
I know all about that.
I'm telling you, if you don't follow Harley on social media, you should, because he
Yes.
gives me life every day.
All the
because
time.
he says exactly what I want to say.
Yeah.
But I'm Mrs. DC.
we have to.
You live vicariously through my posts.
Yeah,
It's all
yes, I
good.
do.
It's
That's
good.
what we did. That's okay. Well, we'll get you back to like norm one day. Right?
I mean, so we were in Philly this week for work, right?
right?
I don't know. I love Philly. I love the vegan scene. I love the vibe. I love how people are assholes, but like they don't apologize for being
No,
assholes in
no,
Philly. They're
no.
just like,
Whatever.
like you don't expect good service in
Right.
Philly.
Right.
If I get it, I
take
Close,
it as you-
close second
right.
to New York.
Exactly.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
But so we're staying there, and my dear mother, I love her. She went with me, and thank God, because we were like in the heart of the ghetto, and I don't know that I would have wanted to walk to
Like,
downtown by myself. So I would have taken an Uber for 6 blocks.
hi. I don't know where I'm going. Right. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I stood out like a sore thumb.
Monica.
She's the bomb.
Monica's G.
But she
I can tell.
every
I can tell.
yeah
I can tell.
every day though, she would like close the bathroom door and make sure that the toilet lid was closed. And I was like, "Is there something wrong with the bathroom?"
That you're doing this.
Well, right. And she was like, so she got really serious. So, did you know that rats can crawl up through the toilets in the cities? And I'm thinking, I'm like, Mom, you're outside your mind, okay?
No.
Rats don't. Oh, absolutely. This
Absolutely.
is a real thing. It
Absolutely.
is very easy for them to crawl up out of the toilet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So a little tip, since we are in the summertime and
Yes.
you're probably going to be doing some
Close your
traveling.
toilet.
Yeah, it's important because there's actually,
Can you imagine?
no, I've seen it.
I would lose.
You've seen that happen?
I've seen it happen. So when I was,
I've never seen. I've heard. I've heard the story. I've never
I've
seen
seen it. When I was probably, I don't know how I was, high school, and we had to do a show for like the Macy's Day Parade, and it's like in the middle of winter,
Nope.
and there's like one kind of holding area because you have like all of these like teenage girls. I was a part of UDA and Universal Dance Association and things like that, and so you have this holding area. Of course, everybody's there, and so of course they have like a lot of. They're not like porta potties because they're actually connected to buildings, but kind of like the
standing bathroom.
standing bathrooms. There are a lot of times like on the loading docks of some of the big like buildings and things like that. They're right there like in like New York City, and so right like they're pretty much like, I guess if you will, like on the on like the loading dock area. So like that people don't have it, and so that's what they opened up so that everybody could access someplace to
Yeah.
go. And yeah, like a couple of the girls over there were like baby like rats just like hanging out in there, and they were like, all right, so I'm gonna hold it for the next 2.5, 3
Well,
hours.
she was 2 for 2 in Philly because we were walking through Chinatown and I was like, do you want to eat here? And she was like, no.
No.
You should never eat in Chinatown. You know, in China, they eat dogs. And I'm like, Mom, you're outside your mind. Well, she's walking through Chinatown, and one of the restaurant owners carries out a dead rat, and throws it on the trash right in front of her. And I was like, that's it.
All right,
I gotta go.
I'm done.
I'm leaving Philly forever.
Your trip should have been recorded.
Yes.
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 That
We got to
would've
be
been
better
hilarious.
about that. We were just talking about that
gosh.
earlier too, right?
And my poor professor, you know, I'm an extreme extrovert. Anyone that knows me knows this. I talk all the time unless I'm sleeping. So,
Sorry, Jay.
yeah, sorry, babe. He really does. He's like, don't you want a nap?
I
Yeah.
love Jay. Hubby number.
I know. He's still in bed because he was trying to party like he was 18 last night, and he's not.
Didn't he learn anything from my
He
birthday party?
He never learned.
Oh,
He
yeah.
just
You
goes-
should have been there.
He's not a
It
quitter.
was sad though. It was a little sad.
Yeah, he's not a quitter like the rest of us. But
We quit at 9:30.
so this poor professor,
not
you know, I'm
9:30.
in there. I go into class, and of course, he can just tell right off, this girl, not going to pay attention. I've got 16 snacks. I take 45 bathroom
not
breaks.
everywhere.
I've got liters of water, coffee, tea,
She's
gum.
ready. You're
Anybody
ready.
want a Mentos?
You're ready.
You know, he looks over, and I think I don't know. I have this doodling where I'll draw like a map of something and then make little shapes inside of it. I mean, just a mess. So on the last day, he tells us, you guys can sit where you want. I just want you to sit next to someone you haven't sat next to. And I said, oh, okay.
Make a new friend.
Well, I came in and everyone was in a different spot, so I just sat next to the people I liked the most. And he goes, well, I'm glad some of you can follow directions, but
Other people, it's okay. We love
some
you.
of us beat to our own drum. I was like, to be clear,
all
I
right.
told you that from day one.
There you go. Right. You what
haven't
part?
been
That's
trying to
fair.
hide
What
That
part
is
of
fair.
this do you not know
That is
already?
fair.
Well,
Yes.
and I think that's I think that's what we all should do, and I think we're big proponents of that, and I think all three
Everyone
of us
at
up
this
here is
table
what we do.
beats.
This is what we do. It's what we do.
Nothing wrong with it.
Well-
I support it. Most of the time.
Harley supports it.
Well, I think
Unless he disagrees with it, then it's going to go on his social media.
Doesn't I know? Well, we are going to be right back. We're going to take a short break. But, you know, one of the things that we are going to do today, because this is basically our return for
This
the
is
summer.
it.
Yeah. So we are kicking off our summer series today, really. And there's no better way, I think, than to let's get a few things straight. And let's make sure that we are ready to get into the summer and make it just as hot as it is outside. And we're going to educate you a little bit, maybe open your eyes to a few things, but you might want to take the kiddies away because we're going to talk everything sex when we come right back. See you in a few. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Good Things. So, you know, it is officially summer. We had the summer solstice
yes.
3 days ago on the 21st, which actually was also obviously the first day of summer. And I think that even though here in DC we had a couple of days, I think, where the temperatures got a little cooler. Yeah. But we are back into that. We had like the severe heat up right before. Couple of days
Terrible.
of storms. Yeah, it was like, okay, it's summer. We get it. It was not like
Jay hates
comfortable or
He hates
anything.
the heat so much that our house is literally Antarctica.
Phil's the same.
Oh,
way.
that's my house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
I
house
walk
is-
around
my house is
literally in
always
like
frozen.
a onesie with
Yes.
like a hood on.
Yeah.
I'm freezing.
Yeah, I've got earmuffs on,
Yeah.
gloves.
Everything. Everything. I was like,
And
you.
he's sipping an ice cold beverage with
Yeah.
no clothes on, and I'm like,
That
what's wrong
sounds
with
like
you?
me in my house.
Yeah.
Well, see, but the
Yeah.
problem with that is kind of what we're going to talk about right now because I was like, honey, I was like,
This is
this
not
is what
sexy.
you're going to see for the rest of the summer if it keeps being 68 degrees in the house. I don't think this is how I go to bed.
You know what
I'm
we could
freezing.
do though? We could come out with like a line of Snuggies that were see-through.
But it still has to be. That's a good idea.
You're onto something.
Yeah.
Let's
A
copyright
sexy Snuggie.
Because
You
I'm
might
like,
be onto something
you
there.
can't get. I mean, I'm like, I cannot walk around the house and or even go to bed. I'm freezing. I'm like, forget it. I have the sweatpants on, the sweatshirt, and then he's like, "Are you gonna get ready for bed?" I'm like, "I am. This is I'm
This
going
is
to
it.
sleep unless you want to heat up." But I get it because like I don't even know. Sometimes I wish I could like sweat the way he sweats. So I'm like, you just sweat from breathing, and I don't understand. I don't understand. But my son is the same way. So I was like,
I
guess
always
it's
just
genetics.
say, eat a burrito. If I'm cold, I feel like I need to eat. It's probably not good.
I just drink hot tea constantly, and he's like, "How can you drink something so
I think
hot?"
you should go for bourbon. At least
that
you'd-
too.
It'd be way more fun.
Yeah, probably.
don't
I
do
just
what
no,
I
I
do.
wouldn't. I just go sleep.
Oh.
Like what happened on my birthday, but
We were all in bed, I think, by like 10 o'clock. But
it was sad.
we started at 4, so that's early for old people.
We started before then, actually.
Oh, yeah. It
Well,
was
that's not a bad stretch.
Yeah, probably
It
semi-morning.
was sad. It was. We were
sad.
like, we are gonna do this. Yeah, we didn't.
We devoured.
It wasn't
So-
bad unless the plan was to go throughout the night.
We had a sleepover. I had an adult sleepover
That's
at my
true.
house. We all
There were
like,
people like sardines, little burritos all over the house.
It was like, because the whole point was like, I wanted to make sure that anybody, wherever you were coming from, we had, transportation service the whole night. I didn't want anybody to worry about how much they wanted to drink or, at dinner, how much, we went to Saks DC and, I
No
was
one
like,
has a birthday like this. Only Kenosha.
well, I wanted everybody
That
to,
sounds awesome.
relax, but there was like a open bar for the whole 2-hour meal inside, I didn't want no DUIs. We weren't going to worry
Right.
about that. And we were like, okay. And I was like, hey, if you want to, you didn't have to, but you're welcome to stay. So people stayed at the house. I was like, you don't have to worry about driving home. And, for all of us and some of us that had like kids to go to, everybody was like, I'm in. Sign
People were
me
making
up.
bagel sandwiches.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it was going out of
Although
town.
Jay did, I will say, her husband woke up. Him, and Britt, they were off to the store. He was like the chef for the morning.
Speaking of
woke up.
burritos.
Yes, he was made the. Oh my god.
Is that his default?
vegan
Oh my God.
scramble burrito?
I'm
So
telling
good.
you, like for our 10th anniversary, I've got to figure out a way to wrap myself in a damn burrito because that's how much that boy loves burritos.
No, but they are so good. They are so good. And so he did that, and he made the vegan queso, and he had everybody like really hooked up the next morning. So it was nice. Thank you, Jay.
Thanks,
but yeah,
Jay.
but we
Sounds
were done
good.
at like 10:30. We were like, so we're going.
I
to
couldn't
bed.
hold my head up anymore.
No, nobody could stay up. So I was like, this is sad.
But it sounded like fun.
It was fun.
It sounded like a lot of fun.
It was the 40 plus turn up. It was okay.
It was so sad. I couldn't find anything to wear in Kenosha's closet that day. And I mean, I tried on like 54 things. It was one of those days where like you just put it on, you're like, I'm ugly, I'm awful. You just could not get to a level of
It's
pretty.
not okay.
And she's like, I think I have the perfect dress for you. She pulled it out of Genesis' closet. I was like, perfect.
It was gorgeous.
It was beautiful. I was like, thanks, Jen, for the dress. She was like, who let her wear my dress?
She's like, all right.
Yeah.
This is probably why she's running to
Uh-huh.
LA in August. She's like, I'm out of
We
here.
did ask her though. We were like, "Do you have a room for us? Like,
Right.
did you get a big enough place?" And she's like, "You guys are not invited.
No.
ever."
But she's
Right.
adamant about that.
Yeah.
Well,
she's-
she doesn't speak. I
So
mean,
the
she
train
could,
stops here.
Right.
we could be in the same house for days, and Jen never comes out except to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. She's pretty
Sometimes not even then.
Yeah. It's funny because like people will say they're like, oh, I didn't even realize she was here. But I do have we weren't here last time we were here. She hadn't graduated yet, so I would congratulations, sweetheart.
Congrats.
Oh, yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, she graduated. She's valedictorian of her class.
Oh, that's awesome.
Made everybody cry.
Yeah, so
That was nice of her.
it was no. But But and then she just walks away and goes whatever. But one thing though with the summer, I don't know what you guys kind of, I think there are definitely different mindsets about what people think is sexy, what people think is.
Can't wait to hear what Harley thinks is sexy.
Well, and I can't wait either because I think it's nice that we can get a little, different. Opinion from the different sex than what's normally up here. But
summer is an interesting
summer is a
wardrobe.
very interesting time to me. Always has been. And along with that though, I think that we can kind of throw in the things that we obviously see on the outside that we get a chance to either, I don't know, like, dislike, comment on, not comment on. However, sometimes I think some of these things that maybe we are seeing or thinking, maybe we don't just talk enough about. And I think maybe if we had a little conversation about it, that it might help some things out. And not only with what we think might be sexy, but maybe what is needed or what we think is sexy in a relationship, and maybe the things that we kind of need. So I was having this conversation. I thought about this. We were I was actually at my hairstylist. Hey, Artis, and Hair Meets Art. And it was awesome because there was a collection of women really from, arts in her 20s. There was a girl there in her 30s. I'm in my 40s, a lady in her 50s, and and there was a lady there in her 60s. And we were actually all kind of talking about the same thing. And what I thought was great. Well, I won't say it wasn't surprising to me, but I think it was more surprising to like Art and like the other girl who was like in her 30s. This lady was like, look. At this age where I'm at right now, she's like, me and my husband, she's like, I just tell him what's on my mind, what I want, when I want it, how I want it. And she's like, I am too old to be playing these games. And so I was like, I think that is, I thought it was really great. And I felt like actually really lucky to kind of be in this conversation because there were just different mindsets based upon just age. Okay. So we're not even talking about gender. We're just talking about age. And so I was like, how is it that I feel like when you're youngest and you're in your youth and you're in that time.
When you should be like crazy, adventurous.
Right. And be open. Like
and
so
then you're
open.
not.
You're not.
Right.
But then you're, and is it about just getting older and being more confident in it and being more confident in you, or just basically not giving
a fuck?
Basically.
I'll say it.
Zero.
Well, I think to some degree in your younger years, it is more energy there. It's all about chase and cat and mouse and just fun, conquering.
Yeah.
That's what the younger years are about. But I think that takes a lot of energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think every phase you get to, it takes a lot of energy in different ways.
Yeah.
So I was talking to someone yesterday about this very subject, and she was like, well, how do you and Jay have been together almost 7 years. Like, how do you keep things fresh? And I'm like, for me, it's all about like getting it done. Like,
making it happen.
Like me finishing.
Yeah.
Because if I don't finish, what the hell's the point?
Right.
Like,
right.
I mean, I can do a quickie every now and then, but like we're very good at making sure both of us are very satisfied, and I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many couples who, are afraid to bring a toy into the bedroom,
right,
or, spice it up in that way. They're like, well, I just really want to feel connected. Well, you're still going to feel connected. You just might actually have an orgasm. Like, you know what I mean?
And the worst part about it, I think, is that you have the same person who will be like, well, I don't really know how I should bring this up to my partner.
You just bring it home
and
say, I
bring
want
it
to
out.
use this.
That's just communication.
It is communication.
Right. But
right?
I said, a guy who is secure in himself is not going to care, because he's like, I just want you to be satisfied and happy and tell me whatever you want. But a guy who is not will not. Will not.
Well, and that's why I say, so, I don't know, from a guy's perspective, like, what do you think
Like,
is
do you care?
Do I care about toys?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I would prefer.
It's a healthy question.
I would prefer that our sexual experience does not have toys.
Okay.
But
So
would you
I think
prefer
that
they
I think
communicated to you if they were interested?
Would I prefer that they tell me that?
Yeah. Instead of just
Well,
being
yeah,
like,
so I would prefer that the conversation is like, I like this.
right.
Can we do this?
Right.
So
Or
here,
something like that, as opposed to jumping straight to
Right.
toys. Now
Right.
that
Yeah.
I think that is a little.
But that's the
well, you don't have
communication
to.
part.
Right. I'm not saying you have to jump straight to toys, but my thing is like for women, right? We have such a hard time relaxing.
Yeah.
And so if I'm on vacation, I have no problem all the time. Like I'm
'Cause
with
you're
my
in the,
man, I'm like zen. But when I'm in everyday life and my brain is like, rah, 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 you try and, for you guys, it's like,
Switch on, switch off.
yeah. For us,
Yeah, sorry about
sometimes
that.
I'm like, compartmentalize this.
hold on, wait.
Compartmentalize this. Don't think about the fact that
Right.
you just ate
Okay, and
something
now
and you
I'm
feel
okay.
fat.
Right.
And this and that. Like, our brains are like, this.
Yeah.
Not good.
No.
And then your brains are like, here's my sex box. Here's my food box. Here's my work box. And here's my sitting at home on the couch box.
Right.
So yours don't intermingle.
Right.
So for
That
us,
is true. That's very
sometimes
true.
like, I don't have 45 minutes to sit here and orgasm. Like, I love you, but I want to get it done too.
And I think that men think it's kind of the reverse, because I think a lot of times, in my opinion, I think men think that we need like more than what we
Yes.
need. I think it has been over dramatized, I guess, if you will, as far as like, I don't think the need is all that much different than a man, but I do think that men at times, as much as we have to deal with our mental part of like basically getting in the mood, I do think that men sometimes overthink like, what is it that I need to do to get her to where she's satisfied? And it's like,
That's always going to be one of our thoughts
yeah.
but I think if
every time,
if
each
we
and
are
every
just
time.
like, here's what we'll do that now, proceed.
Yeah.
Right now, to some degree, we can have that conversation. Cool, yeah, tell me.
Yeah.
But on the other
You're
side,
always telling me that
but
we got
on
problems.
the other side, I like to find that out on my own. That keeps things fresh and interesting.
So I have a question for you. So if you're in a relationship, which I don't know if you are or you're not, but if you're in a relationship, are you the type that is like, can't go to the bathroom in front of each other, like has to keep it very, like those parts of you closed off?
For a period of time.
Well, I mean, okay, so yes, I'm currently dating. And in the time that we've been dating, I think we're very comfortable with one another.
Okay.
It's not really many barriers
Right.
that we haven't crossed yet or that we're not comfortable with.
Like
But,
some couples won't even fart in front of each other.
I know,
And
you
I'm
know.
like, what the hell are you doing then? Like your
there
stomach
are-
must hurt so bad.
Right. You have some problems going on.
But I do think there are some things that time will unlock the door for.
Yeah.
But communication again,
Right.
and comfort and being
Right.
able to relax and be yourself also opens those doors too.
True.
Well, I think that you miss a level of intimacy, in my opinion, when you don't.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, we're all gross.
Yeah.
Literally,
Well,
all
and,
of us.
and the thing is that yes, we are all human beings.
Any person who's like, I've never picked my nose, you are lying.
Right. I hope you have, because if you haven't, there's some stuff
And
up
you
there.
have never had a crusty
Nothing at all. And your sinuses are probably clogged up.
Yes,
So, yeah.
yes.
Well, and again, when we talk about communication and we talk about things that we probably need to talk about more and how we do that, there's always ways to do it better. I think that sometimes we, again, overcomplicate things more than we need to when it can be real simple. And I do think that, yes, obviously everybody is going to be a little different in their approach. Some people are very comfortable just being like,
Oh, yeah. My
Hey,
husband
this
is
is what
like,
I need.
he goes, can you just not treat me like a piece of meat?
right.
But I'm like, you're such a good piece of meat.
I know, right? Right? So it's like, but
You're
then,
so yummy.
but if you're, and the thing is that I think it doesn't matter how you get that through. I think you need to know your partner and
Yes.
what they're comfortable with. Because, I've known people who like literally are like completely opposite, yin and yang still, but like, maybe the woman is just like, hey, I have some whips and change and let's do it. And the guy's like, wait, okay, hold on. Let me put my work stuff down. Let me get it together. And, and vice versa. And so I think you have to know each other. However, I think when it comes to talking about intimacy and sexuality and sex and whatever is, either needed or missing, or even what you might be liking, talk positively about it.
Absolutely. Because you don't want
that's the first thing.
You don't want to make your partner feel less adequate,
Right.
or
absolutely.
feel like they're not putting in work.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I think
even
even
not
with
being there.
with the communication piece, if you don't know, say that,
Right.
because that's comforting too.
That is, because then the other person's not like, man.
Oh
do
my
they
gosh.
not
I do
even-
not know why when you said that, though. Like, my first thought was, that's my booty hole.
Wait a minute.
Hard pass.
Well, and the thing is that I think that there are people who have been placed in positions, pun intended, that they didn't mean to be because they didn't open their mouth and say,
Yeah.
hold on, or
My legs don't stretch that way.
and then they're in the hospital the next day and they don't know why. I think that's the first thing. Yeah.
What's that show? The one where like people get stuck when they're having sex. Like,
Oh
something
my
bad
God!
happens?
Yes,
Yeah.
the medical shit.
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
Those kinds of
I
things.
love those shows, though.
I know if it's like first time out, new person, maybe new relationship, that's great. But you know what? I'm sorry. If you are having second thoughts about somebody sticking a bottle up don't
do it.
Just don't do it. It will not end well, and you will probably be in the emergency room or on that show, right?
But if you do it, call us and let us know.
We want to know what happened, right?
Yeah.
So
Let them be a guest.
I want to end with this question, because I think it is always something that is it's a female. Of course, I think for the most part, most women have been, seen as being like, oh, this is a no-no or whatever, especially if it's in a relationship. But I think it's becoming a little more common, and I think more women are becoming more comfortable with saying, well, maybe I might be interested in this. And this is where we start getting into the whole fantasy type thing. What's a real guy's perspective on threesomes?
Ooh.
Are
you going to answer whether or not you've had one, Mr. Harley Morgan?
Wait a minute. Let's do one thing at a time
is
here.
Is it beneficial?
One question at a time.
He's like, step in line.
Right.
So you said what is our thought on threesomes?
What is your, because I think that, a lot of times, depending on how it's being presented, it's either been presented as like, especially like in the media, it's like, okay, well, we're presenting this as, oh, this person, this guy, usually it's the guy saying, oh, I want to do this, and the woman or whoever is going, no, I'm not interested, but there is, I think, from some things I've seen and people I've talked to, that more women are kind of saying, hey, whether in relationships or marriages or just single, whatever, saying, hey, I'm down. I want to, so like if...
Is that what statistics are saying?
Yeah. It's more, but I think that it's mainly, I don't think it's been different. I just think that more women are more comfortable
saying it now?
Saying it and communicating it. But from a guy's perspective, because of course, it's always been made to say that, oh, this is exactly what a guy wants. The more, the merrier, But I've run into some guys who've said, I don't know if I, that sounds stressful to me because I gotta
please two of them,
right? Or even, and I don't want to be biased. It could also be the other way around.
It could be two guys and a girl, I guess.
That's a little different, I guess.
That's another conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation.
I don't know. I like the idea of threesomes.
You do?
I do. I think it's interesting. It's entertaining.
So how would
it's
you
challenging.
go about like picking your third? Is there like a third website? Should we start that?
No,
I want to be a
think,
third.
I think that
The third.
that's something that me and my significant other should do together. I think that's fun.
Oh, for sure.
If that's something that you and your partner
Do
are
you
open
think it's
to.
someone you should know or someone both you should not know? Like you go out and like pick them out at a bar, or like you know them and you trust them and you're aware
that's two
of
different
their
sides of
parts.
That's a good question. I think.
Yeah. Because I'm not
I think
sure.
one of
Yeah.
us should know them.
You think?
Yeah, just.
But then what if it's like so incredible that you turn them to that person? Like they're just like, ooh, I don't even need you anymore. That was so good. I know I'm thinking of extremes here.
Well, that is extreme. I mean,
But I guess
when you think about sex, I mean, that's things that you think about at the end.
But I guess a successful
But-
experience would be that the whole point was to enjoy.
And what
all
if
three.
you both fall in love
Yeah,
with
I
them
mean,
and then you're a throuple?
I just,
Is that a new word?
I mean,
Yeah.
We're adding that to the good
I think
things
that,
dictionary.
I mean, the whole point, I mean, it's the point of it is just supposed to be like lustful and fun.
Yeah.
And when it's over,
Visual
it's over.
and all that stuff.
You know,
yeah.
but I mean,
But is that-
it's a risk because you don't know what's going to
You don't
happen.
know.
You don't know if
Right.
people are going to get attached or you don't
I
know.
mean, sex is a drug like anything else,
Yeah,
right?
you know,
Right.
you'll
Makes you
never
feel
know.
good.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't do it often. You know, if you know, I wouldn't do it often, but
I've
I
thought
think
about
that-
it. My husband knows. I'm always like,
And
But
that's what I
then-
said. I think more women,
I-
I think we probably consider it more than, but I do think that our minds get a little more entangled.
well,
in this-
because I'm like, what if he thinks she looks better naked than I do? And then I'm like, okay, so she's got to be uglier. But then I'm like, but then I
that's
wouldn't be
not
attracted
attracted
to her.
see, that's why we have to pick together.
That's true.
That's true.
I'm
We'd
like,
be like,
okay,
honey,
she's
what do you
attractive,
think
but
about
not more
what do you
attractive.
think about
than me.
her? honey?
Right?
Yeah.
But then
Does it have to be a whole interview, though?
But like, what if mid I turn into like crazy rage jealous wife and like kick her ass? I don't know. It could happen.
See, then you lied because you said you was okay with
That's
it.
true. I will, yeah.
I don't know. There's so many variables.
So many things to think about. Well,
I mean, it can go so many ways.
could.
It's not really a right or wrong answer.
true.
That's true.
True.
You know, I feel like you have to be somebody that's open. You have to be a risk taker
Yeah.
because that is a risk.
It is a risk.
And at the end of the day, it is a risk.
Because they could change a relationship indefinitely.
Yeah.
For good or
But
for
it
bad.
could change for the better because
Yeah,
that's
you and
possible.
your partner are gonna try to outdo like everybody,
That's true.
and that's gonna be a turn
Oh,
on.
yeah.
And then when you get back,
That'd be nice.
you get back home. That's a whole new.
Then you have a
got a
whole
whole
new
new
thing happening,
whole
right?
new bedroom experience.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
So it can go many ways.
Well, you know, what I want to do is, there's going to be, well, we're going to lighten it up just a little bit because I want us to take a look at some things and see what we really think about them and if we think it's a good thing or not a good thing to do in the realm of our sexual experiences. But we're going to do that when we come right back. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to wrap it up. But we'll see you in just a second.
She wears a long fur coat of me, even in the summertime. Everybody knows from the cold little way, the girl's got a lot of mind. She's got big thoughts, big dreams, and a big promise later today. What I think this girl, she really wants to be in love with a man. She wants to lead a glamorous life. She don't need a man's touch. She wants to lead a glamorous life without love. It ain't much.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Good Things. If you were checking that breakout, that was just some footage from the Row Agency and one of their numerous amazing shows.
It's a really good show. That was a snippet from Indie Fashion Week, guys.
Ooh, I love that. I
So it
love
was
it.
really, really cool.
Well, what do you have something on? I know you've been doing some summer stuff. I've been wanting to get to the pool parties. We need to get to a pool party.
Oh, we had an amazing pool
Well, let
party.
me know so I don't eat the week before. Because if he invites all these models to the pool party, I'm like, I need a boob job, a tummy tuck, and a booty pad. Do they put those in swimsuits?
Amazon. You can get it all. But, definitely follow. Where can they reach out to you, follow you, find you, all that stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Well, social media, I'm Legendary H&M on all
Yeah, he
sites,
is.
folks. You can find me there.
All day.
And we can talk about things you don't want to talk about, like Leia said, or
We wanna
anything
talk about it
fashion and
all.
style related. Or just find a great event to come to because we always are promoting and creating some good lifestyle experiences for everybody.
And then, do you, as an agency, accept I don't want to call them cold calls, but do you ever have timings for auditions, or is it just mainly submit your stuff?
Well, no. So our agency, we don't do open calls.
Okay.
I was going to say, be careful. Kenosha and Brett and I will be first in line.
No.
So
Remember us? No.
we do. You have to be invited
Oh,
to get interviewed.
there that goes.
Because if you have it, you have it.
Right,
you know, and
right.
We're
You look for that.
everyone on our staff and the models included they know what we look for.
Yeah.
So, if you have a conversation with someone and they're like, oh, yeah, absolutely, then that means that, it's good. But we don't just open up to the public.
Okay.
People will submit themselves online.
Right.
And, we'll check it out. And then if you're of interest to us, we'll call you in.
That's good to know. And they can reach out to Roe the Agency, ROE LLC.
ROE the agency, social media, that's everything. Or this is just a general inquiry, info@roetheagency.com.
Okay.
And someone will get back to you. It's summertime, so give us a couple days.
And we'll make sure to put all that information too on GoodThingsDC.com as well as on our Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter.
And y'all tell the
Gotta
ladies
say
to bring me to bring me back more often.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, you'll probably get called like more and more.
You should definitely come
getting
when
our
I'm
shit
at
together.
Mrs.
It's okay.
America.
We
Yeah.
have a Vegas trip
Yeah.
planned. We'll talk to you about that off air.
Yep, I'm coming.
Yeah.
We're getting the house.
I'll be
Seriously.
there.
Yeah.
I need all the
We
good
need to have
energy I
all
can
the fun
take.
for her that she can't necessarily have that week. So that's all.
I don't know. I might just drink the whole week.
Well, before we send off for the week, I just kind of, it's always fun to take a look at the things that maybe you think or don't think are okay or passive in your maybe intimate relationship. But here's a little funny look, and we're going to put this in our good things, not a good things folder. And you can tell us what you think, and maybe we'll have a couple of laughs. So first off here, some people think certain things are sexy and certain things aren't. Some people think certain things are weird. Some things are maybe just a little
Why do
bit
I feel
out
like
there.
we're not going to agree on this?
I think
This is
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
funny.
I'm gonna go with
I
all
can
of
already
them.
tell this is
So
gonna be funny.
we're going to start easy. So what do you guys think about? Is winking weird?
Oh my gosh, I wink all the
Winking?
time. Winking's great.
Random winking?
I'm a random winker.
No, is that okay?
Oh, it can be weird. I don't think it can be weird.
I don't think it.
The person can make it weird or make it sexy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It really depends on the person.
I think.
I'm a winker, but like if Jay winked at you, you'd be like,
I agree. That's true. I will
looks
say. I
like-
think it's the person, right?
Yeah.
You'd be
I
like,
think it's the
why?
person.
Is there something in your eye? What's
yeah.
wrong with you?
I'm always like,
Right.
hey.
All right. So what about
See,
this?
you're a good winker.
See,
Everybody-
I like to do it
everybody's
on
not
the
a good
side.
winker.
Yeah, so I do it on the side.
I was like, wink
Yeah, see?
for it. Oh, yeah.
That
See,
you
she's
all are made for
sexy.
winking. That was a sexy
I was
wink.
like, damn. I'm like all excited.
That would make me fix
And
my
now
clothes.
I know. Now Kenosha just winked at me. Jesus.
It's an eye thing. Okay, well, what about talking dirty? Do we all like that or no? I think it
Talking
could
dirty.
be weird too.
It could be. I think.
I'm gonna pour yogurt down
I do.
Oh, God. That's
Yeah.
like a visual representation of my relationship.
All right, let's do a couple more. That one, I think it depends on how you present it. So, all right,
It takes practice.
It does.
You
All
need
right.
to ask your boo tonight if they'll lick your face.
Well,
I don't think I have to ask.
it just happens. Let's do, a couple more here. So this one I have no problems with, but how do you guys, a little spanks, okay?
Oh, yeah.
All the time,
Well,
Not like that though.
yeah, not like that.
Well, I'll do the spanking. I'm not getting.
Okay.
Oh, you don't want
Okay.
to be spanked.
No.
I like to grab it, get in there.
Have
Give
you
me that,
guys-
Do that again.
booty.
Have you grabbed too far before?
I mean, I'm always like, oops, I did that on accident. But really, I'm like, I did that on purpose.
Just a little, oh, sorry. Yeah, that's
My poor
always fun.
husband. My poor husband.
All right, I know we're running out of time. We're going to do one more, and we have so many more of these. We have to do more of this again soon.
Yeah.
But, all right, I don't even know. You pick one, Jay. Let's see. What
Maybe
do
we
we
should
think?
just change good things to a sex show.
It's a good
Well, sex
thing.
is a good thing.
It is.
It is. And no one wants to talk about it.
I don't even know what it is.
Monkey thing on the phone.
Oh, well, yeah. Do we like, having phone sex?
There is no possible way my husband would ever have phone sex with me.
Or, okay, well, how about this? What about the whole webcam thing?
I've never done it.
I've done it before, but it's weird.
I have-
It's weird.
It's weird.
Is it odd?
It is odd.
I
That's
just
not my
picture
thing.
somebody walking in on you as you're shaking your.
Oh, I see. Now this I have done, and I think it's. I
love a
I
lap
would
dance.
love to have. Yeah, but I know better. It's not gonna happen on the other end.
Like the strip club?
What, get stripped for or going to strip club?
Well, I go through, like, for instance, I've danced for my husband.
Yeah, she is.
But, you know, I haven't had it the other way around. But I don't know if I necessarily want it. I don't know. Women aren't visual in the same way.
Well, I don't think I'm Jay's type on the dance floor. He always goes for the darker ladies. He never dances with white girls. So I'm always like sitting
That's
on
what
a
he
couch
gets from
eating
being from
popcorn.
Michigan people.
Yeah.
Detroit up in it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
When you grow up in the ghetto.
He's a hood boy. That's okay.
Yes.
We love you, Jay. We love you, Jay. Well, we want all of you all to think about all these things. You know, we need to have a, like, part 2.
I'm saying, and you know, Kanosh she was having a rough morning. I told her, I said, Harley and I are sunshine. We'll make you smile.
It
Well,
was.
she's having a great. Her day is all better.
It's always better when I start good things. Yeah, it was just one of those mornings, people. You know, it happens where you're all
happens.
together
We all
and
have
then
them.
you're not together, and you're like, okay, great.
Yes.
But you know,
Yes.
it is what it is. It happens, and you know, you try to move on, and that's what we try to bring to you guys. So we hope today we have been able to impart a little bit of that as we try to.
A little bit of knowledge.
Every day, more fun and more than anything. But we want to always send you off having a great week. It's gonna get hot, and hopefully you get a little hotter.
I think people think I'm bald in the summer because I never wear my hair down because it's so hot.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, I wear a hat. Like literally, I have I'm Under Armour down like almost every day.
I am like a walking Under Armour commercial.
Look,
90%
whatever
of
you
the
got to
time.
do to get this sun out of your face.
Yes.
Well, and I am not the color for the sun.
No. Oh, and real quick, let's before we sign off, I do want to shout out and give as always, a thank you to our supporters and sponsors.
Thank you.
Dermatology, Hair Meets Art. We also want to thank Green Fair for their support and Carlisle. We also want to thank Row the agency for coming and sharing with us as always and being great supporters. And then we also want to thank our home right here at WLVS Radio and Listen Vision Live Studios. We couldn't do it without you. And we thank you guys so much. And all of you, everybody who watches us, follow us, please. Click on us, follow us, Facebook, Good Things DC. You can also follow us on YouTube and on Instagram at Good Things DC Show and on Twitter at Good Things DC and, of course, at goodthingsdc.com. So check us out. That's usually Britt's job. It's hard for us.
Well, I was just going to say, I could not. I would be like, just Google us.
You can do that, too.
No, you actually did that perfectly. That was great.
I know, right?
That was really
Britt
good.
runs that off.
She
That's like
does.
her thing. So,
Yeah.
But as always, and I think we're going to, we should initiate Harley here, right? In our sign off.
Yeah.
And we always end with just a little bit of inspiration. So we just want you all to remember to always love one another.
Always be kind.
And then you just say and do.
Good things.
That's
Woohoo!
We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week.
And have sex.
Yes, lots of it.